Before Daniel Caudillo retired in May of 2025, he was an immigration judge in Laredo, Texas for 4 years. In total, he has almost 2 decades of immigration law experience under his belt. Are immigration judges today, likely as not, less experienced than they were a few years ago?
Absolutely, Ted. There's been a reduction of the immigration judge corps, a significant reduction. There's been more than 200 judges since the new administration came in that have either left voluntarily or more than 100 that have already been terminated by the administration. The replacements for those judges have not received the kind of training that is required. The changes in the regulations that is reducing the experience required from more than 10 years of immigration law experience to none. I think it's been said it takes 2 or 3 years for a judge to get comfortable in that position, to get comfortable serving as an immigration judge. Allowing 2 or 3 weeks of training is simply insufficient for this particular area of law.
Caudillo is currently the director of the Immigration Law Clinic at Texas Tech University School of Law in Lubbock. What's the biggest challenge to a young law student who is about to leave, go to work, possibly some of them in the field of defending immigrants, defending people who are trying to remain in the United States?
One of the biggest challenges, especially in immigration law, is the changes, the constant changes of immigration law make it difficult to keep up with. I tell my students it's hard to teach you the rules when the rules keep changing almost daily and at the whim of any administration.
Clearly, previous administrations have been lax in allowing too many into the country and not doing enough to sort them out. And maybe things have moved too far now in the opposite direction.
Well, before you take the bench, you take an oath to uphold the Constitution which provides for due process for every individual in the United States, regardless of your immigration status. The reason I mention that is because it's very important for a judge to ensure that they're protecting due process. And if that means that a case gets delayed, if that means that 4 cases don't get heard that day, instead only 2 or even 1 case gets heard, then ultimately the most important job that the judge has is to make sure that that person receives a fair and full hearing before this tribunal. If they do not, then you've not done your job correctly.
Daniel, if you're the President of the United States and you're looking at, what was the number you told me? 3 million?
3.4 million.
3.4 million. And you're saying, I hear what the judge is saying. I appreciate that, but my responsibility as President of the United States is to sort out a problem that has gotten to be overwhelming in this country. Doesn't that have to be cleared up?
Ted, being an immigration judge is very difficult. You have to apply the law to the facts before you. Oftentimes, you have to remove people from the United States. And I did so with compassion and dignity, remembering that every number that you and I have spoken of, those 3.5 million cases pending before the court, is usually a family or a family member and someone that has someone that relies on them. I think even during those very difficult cases, I've had individuals say, Judge, thank you. Thank you for hearing my case. Thank you for allowing me to present my evidence. And even though it's not what I ultimately wanted out of in your decision, you at least gave me an opportunity. And I think that's one thing that we have to protect as judges, to make sure that no administration can take that protection of due process, because that's the most vital core of any judicial system, whether it be an immigration court, a federal court, bankruptcy court. Having someone protect your rights to be heard is one of the most important jobs that a judge has.